two Super Bowl contenders. The Saints take on Panthers.
From Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina. It's the NFC Wildcard round on EA Sports.
It's going to be a good, really offensive
Sam
game.
Darnold and the Carolina Panthers taking on Ian Book and the New Orleans Saints.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at Bank of America Stadium in uptown Charlotte. Straight ahead, it's Wildcard weekend, and we've got a great one in store between the New Orleans Saints and the Carolina Panthers. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the postseason on EA Sports. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, that's really all I need to say to get you fired up. It's the postseason on EA Sports.
And no one's more fired up than the guys who are going to be playing in this game. This is what they fought for all year long. Go back to the OTAs, the mini camps, training camp, throughout the season to get to the playoffs. The intensity level will be off the charts.
Winner go home is the mantra, and off we go. We're underway in this NFC wildcard game. Fielded just outside the goal line. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the
Let's
return.
lay out the slime zone. Yeah,
The Saints from their
apparently.
opening drive. They'll be led out by the man from Notre Dame. At quarterback, it's Ian Book.
And we can talk all we want about football being a team game and leaning on different parts and aspects in order to get it done. And that's entirely true during the regular season. Some weeks it's the defense, the special teams, running the football. But in the playoffs, all the pressure reverts to the quarterback, and he has to play well and play at a really high level in order for his team to win.
Forced out to his left. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. Look. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to run.
Apparently, Saints having second thoughts on Book. Book's been great. I don't know why I have a second
Man
thought.
coverage on the outside.
I guess
My
because you
scouting
can
report on
win
these
a
DBs
playoff
tells me
game.
that they love to take
Spent
matters in
3
their own
seasons
hands.
this season
They want
to
man
test
coverage,
it all.
not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. So here the Panthers backed up to start their initial drive. Commanding the offense will be the highly touted USC product, Sam Darnold.
And he comes into these playoffs bringing a team that's been battle-tested, won the division, and earned the home playoff game here in round 1. But every year they know that a division champ, it feels like, gets beat. They don't want to be that team. They have to avoid the overconfidence and make sure they play the same way they played during the regular season, mistake-free and with passion.
Being chased out left. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Page. And they work this out past the 25.
To start the drive, but not anymore. Now that's the play call
Oh,
the offensive coordinator had in his head. You saw the end result. He wanted to go ahead and push the ball downfield, and that's what they did. And they wound up with good yardage there to get things rolling.
It was 80.
And it's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense for forcing that incompletion?
Meanwhile, Darnold's throw here complete to Kelsey.
Kelsey,
That's
oh.
brought down after
Yeah,
a
that was
very
locked
nice
down.
game.
That one. Chelsea.
We're scoreless after one. Second quarter now from Charlotte, and it's the Panthers with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. From the 50, it's Darnold. His first running back, McCoy. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. To throw is Darnold. Dancing to his left. Looking for the end zone. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. So
Late second quarter, we're still scoreless.
2nd and 10. Darnold down to throw. Steps away to his left. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19.
Just like that Bengals-Jets game earlier.
Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
And that's a tough throw because he's moving to his left. He's got to get his shoulders pointed back right to throw it all the way across field to try and connect. Unable to do so.
Ah, phew, good kick.
And his kick is good. And we have action on the scoreboard just before halftime. It's 3-0. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well, they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
And it's a pretty good return here as we get this up to the 29. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And with a little under a minute to go, they may try and work their way into field goal range and try to tie up this ball game. And that is incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. It'll go as a loss of 3 on the sack, and it brings up 3rd down.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there. The completion good for only 6, and they'll bring up 4th. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears trying to go for it on 4th. They'll throw now on the final play. Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. And a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And it'll be a turnover.
That was just a silly thing to do. They should have punted it or something. Now the Panthers are getting points.
It's off the left upright, but it counts right in. How about that? The kick is good. So we come upon halftime here in this NFC Wildcard. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. 3rd quarter, here we go. One of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout. From just inside the 20, a short kick. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. The Panthers ready to go back to work to start the 3rd quarter. And they're in the position they expected to be in. They've got the lead, home crowd behind them, and they're looking toward making that next step in these playoffs.
I think the key for them is to put together some good, long, extended drives. Work the run in a little more with that big offensive line. I'm not saying get away from throwing the football. That's still working. But they run it more effectively, they may get even bigger plays in the passing game.
To throw again on second down, Darnold. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. They've done a good job on these receivers, pretty much held them in check. They're a little too close for comfort.
And you're always looking for a play to get you going, right? You're looking for someone to make one. But maybe this penalty, this pass interference call, that can help shake them loose.
And a throw downfield is taken in by his running back. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A big connection on that one, 33 yards. And he's got a touchdown, Panthers. Christian McCaffrey there to make the grab. And the Panthers come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time, they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, that tells you you're getting it done.
And he will get into the end zone again, and he seems to have a nose for it as he gets both the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. And they're able to ground it in there on the 2-point try, and you and I were talking before the game. The 2-point conversions from the 15-16 season, what has changed, what hasn't changed, partner?
Yeah, I'll tell you what's changed is just your normal strategy, because now you're either kicking the football with the ball on the 15-yard line, or if you decide to go for 2, they put it on the 2-yard line. So what are you thinking as a coach? Do I risk it? Do I go for it here? Do I try and gain a strategic advantage and maybe go for 2 early? That's what people are wondering about.
Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. Throwing again on second down. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. And it'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack. And it's third down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film section tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out this far.
And this almost intercepted. Not sure he saw the free safety that time. But lucky, incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down. Here comes the Saints punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. And they're going to be set up with excellent field position to start the drive as that gets out of bounds inside the 45-yard line. On first down, Darnold. Fine time to his, and he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. A loss of 4 that time on the sack, and it brings up second. And we're back now in Charlotte. 1 quarter remains in this NFC Wildcard matchup. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at third down. Here's Darnold. forced out to his left. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the first down. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
And partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in down. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
Oh, and miscommunication on the lateral. The ball's out, and the Panthers have recovered.
There's never a good place on the field to fumble the ball.
Yes.
As it is.
But definitely not your own red zone.
In your own red zone, it's heightened, isn't it? Because you're almost automatically giving up a score and the momentum, and everything just changes for your team.
Yeah, so the kickoff fumbled a great field position. There's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Instead of running, Darnold's going to throw this thing. Being chased out left. Touchdown, Panthers. Travis Kelce, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Panthers continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead. Well, look, this is a team, Charles. They faced adversity all year long. They had to fight and claw to win that division, but they're putting it all together here in the Wildcard game.
Feels like a statement, doesn't it? An absolute statement game, a message to the top seeds. Overlook us at your own peril. We're pretty darn good.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is now 24. Now they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom. End zone. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And able to take it past the 25, and yard line. The New Orleans offense back out and ready to go.
Book.
And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing
What's
on
this?
this
Book's
game.
out.
It's kind of important for one
Lindsay's
reason.
in.
It certainly
What's
is. You got to
this?
get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Lindsay's in.
Shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
This defense was
And the Panthers are going to advance most likely
and they
now.
were more than
It's
ready for it.
basically
They
official.
got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now in
Something
desperation,
must be
throw
going
deep
on.
downfield.
Buck, if he is not in
Gonna be
at this
incomplete.
moment.
Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the gun, Lindsay. He's going to let it fly. And this almost intercepted. Not sure he saw the free safety that time. But lucky, incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down. Gotta try it here. He's back to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert. And they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Panthers are going to get it back in excellent field position. 1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. And Darnold wants to throw the football. He finds his man, complete. It's Page. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. It's got to be so tough having the ball in the middle of the field like that, knowing that a linebacker is just waiting to make a big tackle like we just saw.
No doubt about it, because offense coordinators love to call plays and send receivers into the middle of the field. And linebackers, they want to naturally discourage those plays from being called.
from the 24. Darnold throw left side complete. That's Page. And they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, they certainly have the look of a team with something to prove, don't they? All week, as we prepared for this game, we kept reading about how they said they're going to play a full 60 minutes this week. Has nothing to do with their opponent. No disrespect intended, but they wanted to be people of their word, playing this thing all the way out, trying to finish it strong.
Extra point splits the other points, and the lead will swell by one more. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Taken at the goal line. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. And they'll indeed take a knee.
That's it. Panthers win it, 31-0.
The Panthers season will press on as we say so long, everybody. That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis.
A blowout. First playoff blowout in a while.
Watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. The Panthers are winners here as we say so long from Charlotte.